Have you ever felt something shift inside you, suddenly, without explanation? A surge of energy, a wave of emotion, a deep knowing that something bigger is happening within you. You weren't imagining it. You weren't too sensitive. And no, you're not broken. What you felt was real. And more importantly, it was a sign, because only the most powerful chosen ones, the rarest of souls, experience this kind of inner activation. It doesn't show up in everyone. It doesn't follow logic. And that's why almost no one talks about it. This isn't a common spiritual awakening. It's not about crystals, full moons, or meditation playlists. It's something ancient, raw, and undeniably real. It comes out of nowhere, and when it hits, you can't unfeel it. Your energy shifts, your perception bends, and suddenly, nothing feels the same. You start to question everything. Not because you're lost, but because your soul is finally waking up to the truth. This message found you for a reason. Because what you're about to hear might explain everything you've been feeling. In this video, I'll reveal the hidden symptom, the one no one talks about, that only the most powerful chosen ones go through. If you've been feeling strange lately, this is for you. You're not going crazy. You're not alone. You're awakening. Before we dive in, I ask you from soul to soul, if this already resonates, give this video a like. Subscribe if you haven't yet, because messages like this don't appear by chance. And drop a 99 in the comments. That number isn't random. It's a divine code of completion, of cycles ending and power returning. If you feel it, claim it. Let's begin. Everything feels different, and you can't explain why. One day you wake up, and it's like the world around you has changed, but no one else notices. Colors seem sharper, sounds hit deeper, the air feels heavier or lighter, depending on the moment. Even time starts to feel distorted. You feel chills for no reason, a sudden rush of electricity through your spine. Your heart beats faster, even when nothing's happening. Or everything around you is chaotic, but inside, there's a strange silence, like you're standing in the eye of a storm that only you can sense. It's not anxiety. It's not imagination. It's an energy shift, and your soul just tuned into a higher frequency, without warning, without permission. Because that's how it works for the chosen. You weren't asked. You were called. This isn't something you learn in a book. It's not something a guru teaches you on a retreat. This is ancient technology, hardwired into your being, activating when the time is right. And here's the part that no one warns you about. It happens alone. People around you won't feel it. They'll keep scrolling, sleeping, laughing, like nothing's different. But inside of you, it's like a switch just flipped. Suddenly, the things that used to comfort you feel hollow. The places that once felt like home start to feel foreign. And a voice, deep, undeniable, starts whispering, "You weren't made to stay here." You feel pulled, but you don't know where. You feel ready, but you don't know for what. And that's where the mystery begins. Because this shift isn't the destination, it's the doorway. But what lies on the other side, that is what you'll discover next. And once you do, there's no going back. You cry for no reason. You feel joy out of nowhere, or grief that doesn't even belong to you. Suddenly, your emotions aren't just yours anymore. They come crashing in like waves, uninvited, unpredictable, overwhelming. One moment, you're fine. The next, you're on the edge of tears. But you have no idea why. You're not unstable, you're not broken, you're not overreacting. You're awakening. What you're feeling isn't just emotion, it's energy. Raw, collective, ancient energy, moving through you like a current. And only the most spiritually sensitive beings on this planet can feel it that way. You walk into a room and feel the tension before anyone speaks. You think of someone, and suddenly you feel their pain. You scroll past a post, and your chest tightens, as if your soul knows something deeper is happening behind the screen. This is empathic sensitivity, not just emotion, but spiritual radar. You're not absorbing feelings, you're translating frequencies, pain, joy, confusion, hope, from people you've never met, from places you've never been, from timelines you don't remember living. Why? Because you're not just here to survive, you're here to heal. Chosen ones are emotional conduits. We carry what others bury, we cry what others suppress, we feel what the world can't handle, and we alchemize it into light. But here's the part no one sees. It's exhausting, it's isolating, and sometimes it feels like a curse. But it's not. It's proof that your soul is still alive in a world that's gone numb. It's proof that you're connected to the deeper pulse of existence. A pulse that most people can't even hear anymore. And here's the most powerful part. The deeper your emotions go, the higher your purpose climbs, because only the hearts that have been broken open can hold the light strong enough to heal others. But this emotional storm is only the beginning, because once your heart opens, your reality begins to collapse, and what rises in its place is something you never saw coming. You can't relate to what you used to love. The world feels fake. People feel distant, even when they're right in front of you. Suddenly, the things that once brought you comfort now feel empty. Your favorite music doesn't hit the same. Your daily routines feel robotic. You walk through familiar places, but it's like you're watching life from behind glass. You laugh, but it feels forced. You talk, but every word feels scripted. You smile, but something deep inside you knows you're not playing this game anymore. This isn't depression. This isn't burnout. This is disconnection from the matrix. The illusion is falling apart. You start to notice how fake everything is. The forced smiles, the empty goals, the endless scrolling, the noise, the masks. You hear people talk, but no one's really saying anything. It's like they're all asleep, living out stories that were handed to them. But you stop believing the lie. And yes, it's lonely. Because once you disconnect from the illusion, you realize how many people are still plugged in. You sit in a room full of people and feel like an alien. You try to express what's happening inside of you, but they look at you like you're speaking another language, because you are. Your soul has outgrown the program, and now you're in the space between worlds, too awake to go back. But not yet sure where you're headed, and that's where the fear creeps in. You ask yourself, did I lose my mind, or did I just find my truth? Here's the answer. You're not lost. You're not broken. You're breaking free. This disconnection is sacred. It's the soul's rebellion against a life that was never meant for it. It's the collapse of false comfort, so that real freedom can rise. And when the dust settles, you'll begin to see the world as it truly is. Not as a prison, but as a playground for the awakened. But don't get too comfortable. Because once you unplug from the illusion, the signs start to follow you, and reality begins to speak. You see numbers, symbols, signs, and they follow you everywhere. It starts subtly. You glance at the clock, 11:11. You check your phone, 222 messages. A license plate passes, 777. At first you shrug it off. Coincidence, right? But then it keeps happening. Again and again and again. You start to realize the universe is speaking. And it's no longer whispering. It's shouting, but it's not just numbers. It's songs that play at the perfect moment. Dreams that feel more real than waking life. Strangers who say exactly what you needed to hear, as if they were sent. You walk into a room and know something happened there. You think of someone, and they call. You ask a question in silence, and the answer shows up on a billboard. This isn't madness. This is alignment. When you begin to awaken, your reality stops being random. The veil thins, your perception sharpens, and you begin to see the architecture behind it all, the divine intelligence that's always been guiding you. Chosen ones don't live by chance, they live by code. Not the kind you read, but the kind you feel, deep in your bones, in your gut, in your soul. You stop trusting logic and start listening to the quiet voice within, the one that always knew, the one that was silenced by the noise of the world, but never stopped speaking. Because here's the truth. Your soul is ancient, and it remembers. It remembers the symbols, the signs, the numbers, because they were part of your language long before you were born, and now they're waking up with you. But there's a catch. Once you see the signs, you can't go back to sleep. You can't pretend life is random, because now you're part of the pattern, and soon, very soon, that pattern will lead you to something even greater. Not just signs, not just messages, but activation. And when that moment arrives, everything you thought you knew will be rewritten. You've always felt it. A pull, a whisper, a burning in your chest that no one else could see. From the time you were young, something inside you knew. I was meant for more. Not more money, not more fame, not more validation, but more truth, more meaning, more impact. It wasn't ambition, it was remembrance, a sacred mission coded deep within your soul. Even when life distracted you, even when the world tried to numb you, that knowing never died. You tried to silence it. You tried to blend in. You tried to play the role they handed you. But no matter what you did, it kept calling. In the quiet moments, in your pain, in your isolation, that voice inside whispered, "You weren't made for this cage. You came here to change something." But how do you tell people that? How do you explain that your soul aches because it remembers a destiny no one else can see? That your dreams aren't random, they're messages. That your longing isn't weakness, it's a compass. You feel things others don't. You notice what others ignore. You can't settle, not because you're ungrateful, but because your spirit knows there's more, and that more isn't out there. It's in you, waiting, burning, rising. Most people live their entire lives asleep. But you've been haunted by this knowing, because the universe doesn't give missions like this to just anyone. It gives them to the warriors, to the light bearers, to the ones who came to break cycles, heal generations, and rewrite fate. You've walked through fire, not to be destroyed, but to become the flame. And now, that inner voice is getting louder. That pull is becoming stronger, because the moment of activation is near. You can feel it, a shift, a storm, a divine convergence. Just ahead, and what's waiting for you on the other side isn't just purpose, it's power. If you felt even one of these symptoms, you're not broken. You're not lost. You're being called. Not by the world, not by chance, but by the divine force that planted a mission inside your soul before you ever took your first breath. Every shift, every tear, every moment you thought, "Why am I different?" was never a curse. It was a sign, a confirmation, a sacred echo from the universe saying, "Wake up, it's time." Because the truth is, only the most powerful souls are called to awaken first. Only the ones with ancient fire in their blood, the ones chosen to walk paths others fear, are handed this level of intensity. And if you're still here, still watching, still feeling this, it's because you are one of them. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to disrupt, to rebuild, to ignite. You didn't come here to play small. You came to remember who you are, to rise beyond the illusion, to break the matrix, to awaken the world by first awakening yourself. So let the chills come, let the tears fall, let the knowing rise, because this is your moment, not the end, but the beginning of who you really are. And now I ask you, if you feel this truth burning inside, comment, "I am rising," below. Let the world see you. Let the universe witness your yes, and declare it. You are no longer asleep. May your path be guided. May your heart stay open. May your soul awaken fully. You are one of the chosen. Now walk boldly, and don't look back.